Hey, everybody, welcomes. It is Mickey Talks, episode 18?
18, we made it, buddy.
Holy cow, episode 18. Unbelievable.
We're legal.
Yes, we are officially legal here at Mickey Talks, brought to you by Barnes Paving. Barnes Paving can meet all of your paving and asphalt needs. They deliver exceptional service, incredible prices, and right now when you mention Mickey Talks, you'll get 10% off at Barnes Paving. Incredible people. They are MHIC licensed and insured and very accredited with the Better Business Bureau. No job is too big or too small, from patches or residential driveways to full on-site work. This company is incredible. Chances are you've seen their work all over Maryland and even parts of Pennsylvania. Thank you, Barnes Paving. Go to barnespaving.com. That's BARNES paving.com. Or give them a call at 443-243-3710 and make sure you mention Mickey Talks to get your 10% off. Thanks to everyone at Barnes Paving. Feels so weird to say, Matt.
No, man.
We have
appreciate
a real
those guys.
sponsor and advertiser now.
It's amazing. It really is.
It only took us 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
That's incredible.
Take that, ABC. All right. Excited for today's show. Before we get into it, Matt, a couple things I want to say. I will be in Canton tomorrow night doing comedy at the Grunwald Club. Grunwald Club, very legendary Polish social club that opened, I think, around in the 30s. It's almost 100 years old.
Wow.
And the big social club, and they're having an event tomorrow night. I'm doing comedy, so if you want tickets, come down to the Grunwald Club tomorrow night. I think 7:30 the doors open, and you can get tickets there, I believe. So looking forward to that one. Then next week, I am at Hanover, Pennsylvania, Church of Satire, where I am recording or attempting to record 4 one-hour shows that are all different.
Oh, this was the special you were talking about.
Yeah, this is all different. So besides doing this show every day, I got 4 hours of stand-up in my head and doing it. It's pretty wild right now, dude.
You usually when you go out there, you have an idea what you're going to talk about. You've got like maybe a topic.
Yeah, I usually have 1 or 2 topics that I want to cover, and then somehow I figure out how to do an hour with those 2 topics, and we go from there.
Right.
Met our first guest, speaking of which.
Real quick, before we get into the guest, we want to make sure people subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Which is at Mickey Talks Pod, P-O-D.
Yeah.
And then, in addition, we would love it if you would share the Facebook feed right now.
Right now, if you're on Facebook, hit that share button, because the more people that share it, the more eyes are on it, the more views we have, and the more successful this show becomes. So, everyone, thank you for all your support so far. You know, it's been a wild ride, Matt. In this quick little bit of time, we've accomplished something I never thought possible. Did you?
Things are moving fast, very fast.
It's wild as hell right now. You ready to get into it?
Let's do this.
All right, our first guest joins us today. This man I met at a comedy show about a month ago. Had a quick talk. I thought he was a fascinating guy. I find out that he's now an actor on the show Euphoria on HBO.
So cool.
Yeah, he was in season 2, I believe.
Yeah, season 2, yeah.
Episodes 1, 3, and 5. Joining us is Melvin, Bonez, Estes. Hey, Bonez, what's happening?
Hey, pleasure being here, man.
All right,
I'm here with 2 legends.
I wouldn't go that far, buddy. Who, Julie, and who else is here?
I
Your
think
girl,
you're the legend,
Julie?
my friend.
Yeah, you're the legend, bro. Yeah. So, talking to you that night, Melvin, you're a fascinating guy. Tell us where you grew up. Where were you born?
I was born and raised in North Point Village.
North Point Village. You're a Baltimore guy, so to speak.
Yeah.
How'd you do in school? What was school like for you?
Athletic.
You were an athletic guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was your sport?
Soccer, football.
Soccer, man. It's been soccer week this week.
There you go.
dude.
It has.
It's been a while, though, man.
I hear you,
I think
bro.
them days are long gone.
I'm with you, man. I loved playing, but I can't. Now I watch it.
Yeah.
Now
right.
I watch it. So now, getting to know you, man. You told me when we met you're on the show Euphoria. I mean, I've seen the ads for it. Can you what is the show? From what I understand now, from what I understand, it's a show about high school students. They navigate love, friendships, and it has to do with drugs, sex, trauma, social media, like everything kids are going through now.
My wife and daughter have seen all the episodes.
So they're
love
fans.
It. Yeah, big time.
Big fans.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Appreciate it.
I got to go back and watch them all now.
I've never seen one episode, man. Is it a show that how do you fit in on the show? Because I'm reading it. It says high school students. You don't look like a high school student. You look like a guy that's not not allowed near a high school.
You know, I kind of bring the pain, man. You know?
Is that what it? You play a thug?
Oh yeah. I'm like a drug enforcer.
A drug enforcer.
Yeah.
You'll do
So,
these damn drugs, kids.
You know, right? So here it is. You know, I've been clean 9 years off of drugs, and I end up in the series. You know, and when I first did the audition, I had no clue what the series was about. So when I go out there, I did the audition up in New York City, and I end up not getting the part in season 1.
Right.
So a year goes by, and I get a call from Hollywood, and it's Alan Scott Neal, who was an agent from JVA Casting out in New York City.
Right.
And he's like, we got a part for you that would probably fit in season 2. So again, I have no clue what Euphoria is about.
Right.
Never saw this series.
Yeah.
So I end up doing the audition, and send it out there. Next thing you know, 3 weeks later, I get a call.
Wow.
And they're like, "Hey, you killed it," you know. And so I had to go and watch season 1
To get an idea.
To get an idea of
Sure.
what it was, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Wow, this is crazy, man."
Now
you
let me
know?
ask you: when you watched the show the first time, did you like the show? Did you think it sucked? Did you not get it? Like, what was that like?
No, I kind of got it, you know. I kind of got it with like what the kids are going through today.
Right.
You know, a lot of them, mental issues,
Yeah.
drug, the pressure of life, just
Yeah.
in general, man. You know.
And when we talked when I first met you, and this had nothing to do with the show, we talked about that just between you and I, like
Yeah, right, we did,
struggling,
yeah,
depression.
yeah.
Your depression, your issues led to drugs,
Oh,
heavy,
yeah.
hard
Yeah.
drugs.
Exactly.
How long
Right.
were you on heroin?
I'm gonna go maybe early 30s, until up 9 years ago now. So
How,
I've been clean
you
9.
mind if I ask how old you are now? Man, you don't have to tell me, Bones.
60.
Wow, you look phenomenal for 60.
Thank you, I appreciate
It's that
it.
heroin chic
I'm the
look,
new
apparently.
40.
Yeah.
I'm the new 40.
You're the
man,
new
you know?
40.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, that's what they say. 60's the new 40. I tried telling a cop that. He didn't believe
Didn't
me.
work, did it?
Yeah, he
I'm
pulled
feeling
me
like
over.
50's the new 80 over
Yeah,
there, man.
exactly. You're going backwards.
Yeah.
shit.
So, Bones, let me ask you. So you said you were 30-some when you got into heroin.
Yeah.
How'd you spend the first 30 years clean? Most people, when they're going to fall, they fall in their late teens, early adulthood because they can't handle the pressure. What was your life like in your 20s? Walk us through that.
Well, it was good. It was
Yeah?
actually, it wasn't bad, man. You know, and a lot of it was sports.
Yeah.
I was still, but I smoked pot and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you always
know?
got high.
And I guess my cousins, they were a big influence.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Wow.
And it led to that. You
Yeah.
know, so.
When you were using drugs, did it get bad for you? I mean, was it the typical drug addict story where you didn't have nothing, you're stealing shit, you're breaking into buying it?
Yeah, that's
You
where it
got to
ended
that
up
point?
at. Hell yeah,
Wow,
you
man.
know.
Did it lead to jail for how
Led
long?
to jail,
How long were you in jail?
In and out of jail. I was
Yeah.
in and out for years.
Let me
And-
ask a question. All right. You're 60 years old, but I could tell when you were young, you were probably you're still in great shape. But I imagine you were pretty not a dude to mess with when you were younger.
I wasn't a good guy.
Yeah.
No, wasn't a good guy.
When
at
a
all,
guy
you know.
like you gets to jail, day one, are you a mark? I mean, are they looking at a guy like you, tatted up, bald, ripped, shredded?
Well, yeah. When you walk in, especially if you're affiliated,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother level, right?
Yeah.
So when you go in on the first time, you've got 2,400 eyeballs watching you.
Wow.
You know, and the funny thing is, a lot of them have done their homework.
Yeah. On
So
you
it's
already.
On you, yeah. So they know who you are. They
Yeah.
know what you're in for.
Right.
You know, and there's no, you can't pull that curtain. You
Yeah.
know.
You are who you are in there.
Yeah, right.
Now,
And-
do your boys step up right away for you that are already in there? Do they come and stand around you like he's with us?
Oh yeah.
So that shit happens.
So yes, it
Okay,
does.
yeah.
And when you actually get in there and you start seeing the different cliques,
Yeah.
then you start realizing how segregated
It's
the
brutal.
institution can be.
Yeah.
You know, and that was my first actual experience. With segregation, like real segregation. You know.
Now, is it strictly? Let's just be honest. When you get into jail, and we're going to get into the show, and all you're doing well, but I really am fascinated about the whole story with you, because where you are now is phenomenal. but you overcame so much, and that's what I want to explain to people. So you go into jail, you're affiliated, whatever. There's a bunch of white guys standing there, and you hanging out with them. Is it literally then a bunch of black guys, then a bunch of Hispanic guys, and then is that? Does it just break down to basic skin color, shaved heads, and tattoos?
Pretty much.
Isn't that wild, Matt?
It really is, man. Yeah.
It's got its own social structure, man.
Who's in charge?
Well, you got these individuals of each organization, and cliques.
Yeah.
They're like the go-to heads.
Yeah.
Do
they meet each other in jail?
Oh yeah.
So like if the head of the black guys are coming to meet the head of the white guys, they sit down and then there's 50 guys behind each of them, making sure nobody does anything stupid.
Well, they don't get that crazy.
Yeah.
But it does happen like that. I mean, they do, and I think nobody wants to trouble. We're already in there for trouble.
Right.
And everybody wants it to go kind of smooth.
Yeah.
But there are rules.
Yeah. Now, a guy like me, I'm not being funny. I'm a very small man. I'm 5'3". I mean, if I walk in there, keep my head down, shut up, do what they tell me, am I going to be left alone?
You're going to be fine.
We're going to put you in protective custody, man.
They're going to put me in the kid wing.
A lot of the problems.
You're going to go to juvie.
A lot of the problems come from the politics.
Yeah.
You know? And then you got.
You mean the politics inside of the system?
Inside the system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then of course you got outside influences, man, that are bringing shit in.
Yeah,
it happens, man.
What's the longest stretch you did? 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Now let me ask you this: did you go in addicted? Did you go in high?
There was a few times I did.
What is that like? Withdrawal of heroin in jail?
It's brutal. It's brutal.
And nobody there gives a shit, do they?
No.
Yeah.
You know what? You hear all these stories about guys getting drugs in prison and getting cell phones and stuff. Like, how prevalent is that?
No, it is. It's very prevalent.
Yeah.
It's very prevalent, man. There's phones all over, And again, like I said, you have a hierarchy. There's a system of it.
Yeah.
And there's rules. You got to abide by them, man. You step outside them rules, you're going to get disciplined.
But if you go in as an addict, do you have access to drugs when you go in there?
Well, that's where it really gets sticky.
Yeah.
Because
there was heroin in jail if you wanted it, right?
There's heroin, there's coke, a variety of everything,
It amazes me when you really think about it. It's supposedly where you put the worst of the worst in the safest of safes. But then somehow, miraculously, through fences, barbed wire, bricks, steel, and concrete.
Oh, you hear all kinds of drone stories now? Like drones flying over them? Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Yeah. Tennis balls thrown over the wall.
And then they're inside of them, there's drugs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I'll tell you, they get creative.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I thought I was a little,
Yeah, sure.
God damn, man. These guys
there's some geniuses in
jail.
jail.
Got some time to think, though, right? Yeah.
So, I just kind of, you just got to know your spot.
When you're in there and, things are calm, you got, you're there 4 months, say, and there's been no problems, no fights. Are you able mentally to just go, okay, 3 years, 9 months left, I'm going to put my head down and get through it? I mean, is there a part of you, or does every day you wake up and go, I'm going to fucking I got to get out of here?
Nah, you got to think that way.
You got to, which way?
The first way.
Yeah, I got to do my time and get nothing I can do.
Yeah, the more trouble you get into, man, the more they're going to attack on your time, man. And, and a lot of people ain't, are there to get in and get out.
Yeah,
But, of course, you've got,
the lifers, dude.
Yeah, they really are the ones that are quiet.
Yeah.
They kind of dictate everything.
Well, that's their house, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to be there a long time.
I remember when I was on a food strike, and we didn't eat for a week. And
you didn't eat in jail for a week?
For a week.
Let me ask you.
It was water and dried ramen noodles. That was it.
Wow.
For a solid 5 days.
You ate the ramen noodles like crunchy hard.
Exactly.
Oh, I think I'd rather eat the plastic
that
goes around them.
That's a true story.
That's amazing, bro.
Why were you on a food strike? What did that accomplish for you guys?
I was up in Jersey. I was up in Jersey Penitentiary. So what happened was the food went bad. So everybody on the compound, they were talking, and they're like, hey, we're not going to stand for this. So coming Monday morning, everybody's just not going to eat. So I remember coming out of Unicor, and which was some of the facilities they have there to work. but I was coming out, and everybody was going back to their dorms. And so we get there. First day went without a problem. Second day, same thing. Next thing you know, the institution starts realizing people ain't eating.
Wow.
And they send the goon squad out into the yard and full riot shields, masks, 100 yards. And I remember coming back up, and next thing you know, A block gets set on fire. They're starting to beat every swinging dick in the yard.
Like they're hitting cops, anybody.
They're hitting everything. It kicks off so quick.
And let me ask you, when you say it kicks off, I've always wondered this, like prison riots, that kind of event where you were, was that one group clique that did it? Or
No,
was
it was
everybody?
It was everybody.
So you can form an army in there and come
Yeah.
together against everybody.
And that's
the scary shit.
That is
That's
scary.
the day I go, hey, the boys ain't feeling well.
I'll tell you.
I'm gonna
Hey,
take
they're
the
always
day off."
hiring for those guards
Yeah.
in jail, man.
I know,
always
man.
hiring.
Right.
Yeah.
And them guys ain't small either.
The
They're
guards
big.
or-
They're big. Yeah,
the
them
guards
guards
are?
are big, man. They're big guys.
Wow.
You know, the shields, neck
Yeah.
to their,
Yeah.
and they got them dick beaters, man. I swear to God, they're this
Dick
They're
beaters.
this big. And
they hurt like
and
a
they
son.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember when they started arresting everybody, and they broke it down. I think they cut the phones down on a Thursday. We couldn't call. Nothing was going out,
Right.
coming in. Friday, 3 o'clock in the morning, they raid the units. So they get everybody out on the tier, and we were laying belly down in our skimpies and shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And they came down, and so many people they tapped, and they shipped them out. So they gave them what we call diesel therapy.
Right.
They sent them all the way across the country where their mail didn't even catch up to them, man.
Wow.
And
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, and they get really, oh man, it gets tough. It gets rough.
Can't
It
imagine.
gets really rough.
And then now, when you're in there, are there moments where you have clarity and you realize
You fucked up.
I can't live like this anymore? I mean, is
Exactly,
that where
right,
you
right.
got your mind right? Was it in jail?
Yeah, I started, realizing that after I was in and out, rotating, for a period of time, I started thinking like, just this ain't the road. This ain't the road no more.
Yeah. How old were you when you just went, man, fuck this? 50, 51, around there? Right? You've been 9 years. You're 60. Is that
Yeah, I
when
would say probably about 48.
is when you started going, this is bullshit.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was done.
And is that where you parlayed into acting, or how did that all come together for you?
No, I actually, I came out, got my life together, and started getting on, I had that heroin, addiction at that time, And so I get put on, I go to the meth clinic.
Yeah.
Get on the meth clinic for a couple of years. And so my mother, I had a really good support system at
Yeah.
the time, family.
Makes a
this, that, and
huge
the other.
difference, man.
Makes
Yeah.
a big difference, man.
Definitely.
Friends, this, that, and the other. And so I start moving in that direction, and just by freak chance, man, right around the corner from where I lived at with my mother was a movie being filmed. And it was one of them indie films in Baltimore.
No shit.
So my mother gets interested in it. So she's like, we're going to pull over.
Yeah.
We're going to check it out. So I rolled the window down, and I asked one of the guys, and his name was Eric Bannett, who was one of the producers for the indie film, Sailor's Point.
Okay.
Starring Jim Belushi.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? It was being filmed right in Dundalk.
Yeah.
So I kind of inquire about, what's the movie about?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's about this guy in prison, gets in the gang, gets out, does drugs. And my mother goes, that's his story. And he's going, nah, really? And I'm like, yeah. I said, I just,
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to introduce you to the, director. So I get out, introduce me to Matt Porterfield, Jim Belushi, and all of them. So I meet everybody, and next thing you know, he said, I'm going to write you a part. He says, you're the only authentic individual in the film.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild, man? Yeah.
Which was crazy,
Did you find, let's just for a second go back to jail, but I'm going to bring it right out of it. You're in jail, there's an order to things, there's rules. Then you get on a movie set, and there's order, and there's structure, and there's rules. But you're probably more of a badass than anybody on that movie set. Are you able to go, okay, no problem, I'll stand here for 10 minutes and do nothing? Like, are you able to take direction like that in that situation?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a thing, like, you mature.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I got out of that lifestyle, man, I left all that behind.
Yeah, I was going to say, the night I met you, Bones, you told me you told me an abridged version of your story, very short version. But I remember thinking, all right, in that guy's day, I'm sure that guy was not a fun guy to be around if he was mad. But I found you to be incredibly, kind and engaging and warm. You look like a tough guy, but you're pretty nice once you talk to you, man.
I appreciate that.
That's
I really
the truth,
do, man.
man.
I really do.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
But there was a time where I remember getting orders, to go do shit, and I tell you, that was some really rough times. But moving at this point, you ain't, don't have to be hard all the time, man. I mean, there's a time where you can utilize it.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
But
you find now you enjoy living life calmer.
Oh, brother, I swear to God.
Isn't it
man.
amazing?
It's a beautiful thing. And it's funny because when I changed my life, I started seeing colors in a rainbow I never knew existed.
Isn't that wild? Yeah,
and that's when I started living. That's really when I started living. And I started talking at NA meetings and stuff like that. Started encouraging a lot of people to get clean, man. And and so I was fortunate.
Yeah.
To kind of get that second shot.
That helps you
life,
too, doesn't
man.
it? When you help other people,
bro. It's like I don't know the feeling. I don't know. It's an enlightening feeling, man.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. And the reason I wanted to have you on the show is because I firmly believe, like myself. I mean, obviously we chose different paths. I didn't do heroin and go to jail for 9. I don't mean that as an insult. I just mean
no.
But I was a prisoner in my own head for a long time. I was almost agoraphobic for a while. I didn't want to leave the house, kind of stuff. I got so dark and miserable. But I would imagine getting clean for you was like getting clear for me. Once I did the work, man, when I bottomed out, I literally had nowhere to live, nothing in the bank. I barely had a car. I was like 3 months behind.
You got a hell of a comeback story.
Well,
you really do.
It's still being written, so I'm only 19 shows in.
No, it's amazing. It
Thanks,
really
bro.
is, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it, but it's why I want to have people like yourself on, is because I think there are so many people out there right now that are either depressed or hooked on drugs, or girls out there that are giving their body away to some man who treats them like shit because they don't think their life's ever going to be better. And two men here, very different stories, but really the same result. We finally realized, I don't know how you feel, and I'll ask you this. When you look back on it, do you feel like most of the bullshit you went through was your own fault, like your own shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Isn't that wild?
Pretty much, yeah.
You spend 30 years blaming every motherfucker around you can point at, and then at the end you go, holy shit, look at his mirror. There's the most guilty bastard of the whole story. He's right in front of me.
Ain't that the truth, man? That's hardcore truth.
And it's brutal when you learn it, man.
Especially when you take the mask off. And
Yeah.
you see the real you.
Yeah, man.
And man, it's scary.
Were you amazed how, and I say this, I think you'll know what I mean. Were you amazed at one point how internally weak you realized you were? You thought you were a hard ass, you could fight, you break a dude's neck.
No, I see where you're going with that.
But
and
there were
right.
times where you sit on a couch alone and be like, I can't get the fuck up and do anything.
Right. No, that's true.
Isn't that wild?
And that's almost like an enslavement.
You're in absolute.
You know what I'm saying? So,
you are addicted to misery and fear.
And everything around me was dark.
Yeah, oh my God.
Bro, it was very, very rough, man.
You said something earlier about just you saw colors different.
Yes.
So this is going to be the first spring that I'm going to remember in a long time. Spring used to be my favorite thing. When you, and it sounds so girly, when you see the flowers start to really bloom and trees are green again, and all the brown and the gray from winter.
The darkness is gone,
and the
right?
darkness is gone.
Daylight comes back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like, I'm so pumped, like even now the days are longer. I feel better, But when you came out of this, and now we're going to move forward. Here you are, 9 years clean. You get this call from HBO. Wild way you got into showbiz. You're on you were on 3 episodes of the second season of Euphoria. They're going to shoot a third. I know you don't know whether or not, you don't know any details yet. You may be involved. You can't talk about it. I respect and get that.
True.
Do you feel like, in a sense, you won the lottery at times? Like, this is amazing, man.
Oh, just given a second chance. Was the big winner.
Yeah.
And, especially if you want to move forward, old keys don't unlock new doors. You got to get rid of them, man.
Yeah.
You really got to change everything about
so
yourself,
true, bro.
And I've always said, after I got clean, that everybody's a somebody, and
Yeah.
and you deserve a standing ovation at least once in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
even if it's walking into jail.
even if it's like,
Hey,
hey,
what's up, everybody? I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back, everybody.
oh, you get a big ovation. You know what I mean? What they call it, the hookups, man. You'll
the
get all
hookups.
kind of hookups.
Right. That's hilarious.
But that's so true, man. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just, you know, it at one point it can devour you. You know?
It's brutal, man.
But I tell you, I was given that second chance, and I'm so thankful for it. And I got an amazing group of people around me. You know.
Fez Grimes, you met him that night, black comedian that was down.
Yes.
He met him at that show. He says, met that guy, really cool guy. And Fez, you are, man. You're a cool guy to talk to, Bones.
Tell him I say hey.
Yeah, he said he hears you. All right, let's get into the show. So now you did that with Jim Belushi.
Yes.
You did that movie. That was the first thing you did. You're on a professional movie shoot for the first time. You know, there's assistant directors, there's producers, there's line producers, there's gaffers, there's best boys, there's cameramen, there's everything. Were you just completely blown away by what it takes to really make a top-level movie?
Yeah, I mean, you're surrounded by millions and millions of dollars of individuals and props and stage, and it can get overwhelming. But you know, it's when I got thrown into that, it was showtime.
Yeah, man.
It was
and you stepped up,
and I had to.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
yeah,
it kind of worked out. And the first day I shot was actually episode 3,
right,
where I was nude in it.
Wow.
So. The director, Sam Levinson, you know, he it wasn't supposed to happen that way.
Yeah, they were gonna have me be nude in a movie once, but they called it child pornography. they thought I was 13.
Right.
I was 29, man.
God damn.
So we can have naked kids in this movie? Are you crazy?
Shit, that's funny, man.
Hey, let me ask you that though. So you shoot a nude scene as your first scene, right?
Yeah.
Or roughly. Was that weird standing in front of all those?
It was, right? Because here's your A-lister.
Yeah.
America's Heartthrob, Zendaya. Right?
Yeah.
So
wait, Zendaya's in this show?
Yeah.
That's the my. So hold on.
Oh,
wait.
so the bells go off. Now.
Yeah, now I get it.
All
right, listen. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I got to ask something about her. Right.
Right.
Now, how old is she? She's young, right?
Yeah, she's like 20s in her 20s.
Okay, all right.
28.
Okay, so I can say this. Is she like in? You stood real close to her.
Yeah.
Is she ridiculously beautiful?
Oh man, she's gorgeous.
Is she
She's
nice?
gorgeous. Beautiful, yes. I learned so much from her. When we did episode 1.
Did you have to stand naked in front of her?
Yeah.
You lucky bastard.
Give me 5. Give me 5 on that. Give me 5.
Son of a
right?
bitch. I had to stand naked in front of a guy named Nick.
I'm the only one. Oh, shit.
Nick worked at a sub shop in Greektown.
Oh, that's
I'm standing. You're next to Zendaya. I'm next to Nick, the Souvlaki king. So go ahead, buddy. So you're standing there with her. What happens?
Well, the crazy thing was that I wasn't supposed to be,
naked,
nude, right?
You just figured, what the fuck?
I mean, you get paid extra for that, at least, I would
they,
hope.
Yeah, they
There's some
compensated
nude
me
pay.
for this, right?
Wow.
So, and we're going to go into something else after
Yeah,
that,
go ahead.
but that's funny.
Yeah.
But so the director comes back and he's like, look, you're going to lose this, that, and the other. And just come
stay
out.
close to the mic for me, Bones. Sorry, buddy.
And so you're going to lose this, that, and the other. And
Yeah.
when you walk up, he said, I want you to put your ass in her face. So when you bend over to the refrigerator and you get out the fruit cup, okay, our angles of the camera is going to catch this.
Right.
So they were looking for a reaction with her.
From her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, of course, I mean, I think we shot that 16 times.
Oh, my God.
Now you're totally nude. You're
Wow.
bending over. How
Yeah.
close is she to your ass, bro? Like from this far?
No, a little further than
Like
that,
4
man.
feet,
like
maybe?
from here to the side over there. You know
Yeah,
what
4 or 5 feet,
about
yeah.
that. Right.
And she's
So-
just staring right at your ass. Your balls are hanging
Oh,
like
I
the
tell
whole
you,
9
the
yards.
whole nine. I know. man.
Wow.
I'm swinging 9 the whole. You know what I mean?
Lucky bastard. I'm swinging 3. He's swinging 9.
Oh man, it was funny.
So you do that the first take. What's her reaction?
Oh well, when you see the episode, man, you'll see the look on her face. Like she's totally. I mean, she's totally taken by it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So it was the reaction they were looking for.
Wow. Did she know you were doing it?
No. Not at all.
Holy shit.
Nope.
Was it intimidating? I
Oh,
mean,
it
I've
was.
known you've been in some intimidating things in your
but
life, and showing a girl your ass probably ain't
but
like
you gotta remember.
showing Mookie your ass. So I would imagine it's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, this is America's heartthrob.
Yeah,
This is a
no, I get it.
Two-time Emmy award-winning.
I get
actress.
it, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was a little, like, it was nerve-wracking.
I can't imagine, dude.
I hope your agent negotiated you like a big chunk of change for just having the nerve to do that.
Yeah, I got a couple auditions out of that.
Ah.
Okay, so like after I
That helps.
filmed season 2, it was about 3 months after that I got a call from Warner Brothers Studio, and the JVA casting agency out of New York City. They were like, "Hey, we want you to audition for this role."
Wow.
They wouldn't tell me. Totally top secret, classified.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So they sent me the script or part of it, of the character.
By the way, it's called Epstein Island. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Part 2.
Part 2, yeah. The return of Bonez.
Dude,
Swims out of the ocean. You thought you killed me. You
Looks like a
sons of-
periscope, right? Like a shark. Good God Almighty.
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
But it was, come to find out, it was a Joker 2.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I didn't find that out until much later, man.
So you didn't get that part?
No, I didn't, because what happened was it was a blind audition.
Gotcha.
So the out of New York City, they were like, "We'll take it as an interview."
Yeah.
Which a big lesson learned in the industry. Always take it as an audition.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I did. I kind of, misinformation.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and I just did a plain, like, kind of audition.
Yeah.
Interview. You know,
Yeah.
Which I should have went right into character.
Yeah.
And got the call. They were like, "Hey, I didn't get it."
I'll tell you a funny story. You'll appreciate this because you know what it's like to go on an audition in front of a board when there's 7 people looking at you and you're reading, and the other person's so dry, So when I did the pilot in L.A., right, in another studio, they were doing reads. And I knew...
They were doing the table reads?
Well, they were audition reads. So these guys were going in cold. So I had a comedian friend that was down the hall auditioning, had nothing to do with my show, for another show. And I'm talking to him in the hall. He's like, "I'm up in like 2 people, dude." And I'm like, "You want to run through your lines real quick?" He's like, No. So I go, "Come on, I'll walk down with you, dude. I'll sit with you till they call your name. You won't be nervous." I had like 2-hour break. I go down and we're talking. And he goes, "Dude, I can't do this. I can't. I'm too nervous." And it was his like first real audition. He goes, "I'm going to blow it. I'm going to blow it." I go, "You want me to do it for you?" And he looks at me and goes, "What?" I go, "I'll go in there and say it's you." I go, when they call you back, just go, "I don't know what you're talking about. It was me." Right? So he's like, No. So he gets up and he goes in. 3 minutes later, he comes out. And I'm like, oh, God. And he comes out and he's got a huge smile. And I go, "Hey, man, how'd it go?" And he goes, "Dude, I said 3 lines, and the casting director said, 'Okay, great, we'll let you know.'" He goes, "So I guess it was good. They didn't want me to see much." And he leaves, and I'm talking to him for a minute. He leaves, and then another friend of mine was working on that show. I go, "Hey, how'd he do?" He goes, "He almost threw up." He like gagged, and I was like, "Oh my God, yeah."
Wow.
Well, they the one thing I did learn, especially from casting agents, is they know within the first 10 seconds. If there's no confidence, and they see it, and you don't own it right at the gate, they're gonna, we'll call you later.
I heard a great story. I don't remember if it was Ed Norton. It was one of those that generation young actors went to his first like big time director, and he was playing a kid who was like very defiant of his parents. Like, so he goes in to read, and the director goes, "Okay, he goes, "Shut up." He said to the director, he goes, "Shut up. Nobody cares what you're saying. I'm going to read my lines. You're either going to like me or you're not." And the director goes, "You're hired."
That's great.
Never read a line.
Wow.
He said, "I see exactly what I want. You're the guy." I want to say Ed Norton, but I don't know if it was.
Yeah, those guys who are character actors, especially, who can just live the role.
The method
Yeah,
actors,
yeah.
man. They're dangerous, man.
For sure.
What was it? American History X.
Ed Norton, my God.
When he was...
Were you in that movie? Because you look like you were.
I wish... Oh, dude, I would have killed it. I would have killed it, man, right? But he had problems with that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like at
yeah.
the end, man, he really... that was rough.
I saw a kind of a dark dive, kind of not really wasn't even a real interview. It was like him talking to another guy, and there were cameras around, but it wasn't a formal... And he talked about that movie, and he said it disturbed him so bad to play that kind of evil and hate with the swastika on his chest. He said he'd look in the mirror and he was just like, "Oh my God!"
Because you just got to embody all those
You gotta
emotions.
be all that,
right,
you know?
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You got to, man. It takes you to a whole nother level. And you know, like a lot of times, HBO has intimacy coordinators on set. So you have to, you know, when you come off and you get into those real violent, you know,
They kind of talk you down.
They talk you down.
Do they really?
Oh yeah,
Really?
no, for
Wow.
real, yeah. So I had one when I dragged Zendaya down the hallway. And I slammed her into.
You get all these quality time with Zendaya. I get nothing.
Oh,
you get
dude,
to drag her down the hallway.
Well, they sent everybody home, and me and her filmed that one specific scene.
Wow.
That was the shower scene. Wow. So everybody goes. We stayed late. I think another 2 hours. You know, and we end up filming, and I was grabbing her by her hair. You know, I was getting up and I was dragging her. You know, and I kept apologizing to her. And I'm like, look, Z, I'm sorry. Is there any other way we could do it? And she's like, well, so we had the stunt coordinator come over. And he was like, well, can you try to cup her a little bit?
Yeah.
You know? So I'd cup her and drag her down, slam her into the shower, and I'd make her undress. And I'm looking for wires, you know.
Yeah.
And the whole time, man, I'm like, here I am with, you know.
One of the most beautiful women in the world.
And she's amazing. I mean, she is
now,
so
let me ask you this.
intelligent.
So you did that scene, you put your ass right in her. So if you're walking down the street tomorrow in New York and she walks by, does she go, "Hey, Bones," or do you have to turn around and then she goes, "Hey, Bones"?
That's my identity. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, do you want to keep acting? I know you're into the Euphoria thing, but like, are you hustling? Are you out there trying to get roles?
I got a manager.
Okay.
So I got a manager now out in L.A., Gerard George, and he's actually, you know, got my profile in for like Tulsa King.
Yeah, I was going to say there's so many shows. I'm telling you a show you want to get on. I don't know if it's coming back. Mayor of
Kingston?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That show, that's my favorite show on TV.
What's his name, Rayner?
Jeremy Rayner.
Jeremy Rayner, yeah.
Have you seen that, Matt?
I haven't seen
King
it,
of
no.
Kingston or
No.
Kingstown, whatever it is.
Pretty good.
Chances are my wife is watching it, though.
Yeah, oh,
She's
my
on all
God.
this
It's
stuff.
on Paramount, I believe.
Yeah.
Phenomenal show. And you'd be great on that show, brother. Have you, now 60 years, you live here still, right?
Yeah.
You have 2 daughters, correct?
Yes, I do.
How old are your daughters?
Oh, hope they were
Older?
grown.
I mean, grown.
38, 37.
Oh, yes, you got grown kids.
Grown, yeah.
Got grandkids?
6.
6 grandkids.
Yeah, and all of them seen
The show?
the episode. Yeah,
Yeah, so they all saw Pop-Pop's ass.
Oh, they saw the whole, yeah. That was a whole issue. And you know, the funny thing is, for a while, that's all I was recognized as. Well, I seen your dick.
Yeah.
That was it. I seen your dick. Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd go out and seen his dick.
Every time I used to go to baseball camp, I'd have to.
That's why you can't hang around the school anymore, right?
Yeah. In schools and churches, I got to be in an armored car.
Oh, shit.
You know, dude, you overcome heroin. You overcome a tough life, prison time. You know, fighting, robbing, stealing. I'm sure there's worse stuff.
Yeah, it was rough, bro.
Yeah. When you look at the future now, tell me your future when you were high, what you thought you were going to be. What'd you think your future was when you were, getting loaded? You're stealing shit to get high and beating people up for money. What did you think your future was?
There was no future.
You thought you were going to die soon, right?
Yeah, that was it.
How did you think you were going to die? OD or fight, killed, stabbed?
OD.
You thought you were going to OD?
Yeah.
Did you ever try to?
No.
Never tried to load it up and go?
No, I accidentally OD'd 3 times.
Wow.
And I think that's another thing that empowered me to, better myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, God's got a purpose here. Somewhere, somehow, there's a
Bones. I got to tell
purpose,
you. I got to tell you a story about God, and maybe you'll get it. There's a very famous story about a man who was on an island, and a huge storm came up, and he got kind of swept out. And he was praying to God, "Please save me." And all of a sudden, a boat came by, and they said, "Get in, get in." And he said, No, God's going to save me. Don't worry. And the boat was like, "Get in, we got to leave." No, God's going to save me. He left. 20 minutes later, a helicopter came. He said, "Jump on the ladder." He said, No, God's going to save me. God's going to save me. And the helicopter left, and then the guy drowned. And when he got to heaven, he looked at God. He said, "I thought you were going to save me." And God said, "I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. What more could I do for you, bro?" Did you ever feel, all right, I'm just going to be high until I die? Were there days like that?
Yeah, there was a lot of days like that.
just I'm living to be high, and then I'm gonna die one day.
That was the life. That was the lifestyle, man. I mean, and you know,
do women matter at that point in your life? Did you care about love?
No, I cared about companionship. That was it.
Yeah, having somebody to ride with.
Yes, and the thing was that individual had to do the same thing I was doing.
Right.
And it made it feel normal.
She was high as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's a very common thing with addicts, isn't it?
Right,
yeah.
exactly. It is. And you know, once, like I said, once I got out of that lifestyle and you know, all that, I was like, you know, I'm bettering myself all the way around the board.
Sure.
You know, and I did, you know. And I was fortunate, you know, I ended up writing 2 books, you know, which helped a lot in my, you know, process of sobriety and getting clean.
Yeah.
And so I write the 2 books, and then I end up, you know, getting involved in the Sours Point, which was the
Movie with Jim. Yeah.
Right. And then shot out, you know, in Hollywood. And here we are today. Right?
That's amazing. Isn't it a cool story?
It really is, man. I mean just the stars aligned for you. You know, you feel like you manifested that. It meant to be.
And it's not over.
Yeah.
That's the thing, brother. It's not over.
It's not over.
You know, it's a wild thing. I remember hearing, was it Keith Richards? I think it might have been Keith Richards. He did heroin for a long time. And they said, when you were off heroin for a couple years, what did you think? And he said the funniest thing. He said, I miss heroin. And they said, well, what do you miss about it? No, it's a funny thing. He said, I miss not ever paying attention to anything else except getting high. He's like, life is so amazing, but it's overwhelming. And when I was high, I just had to worry about the next 2.5 hours every day.
No, that
was his whole life, he said.
That's true, man.
The next 2.5 hours.
He also had handlers taking around the country, making sure he had his guitar in his hand.
That's a little different than growing up on North Point Boulevard.
With $1 million in his bank, you know?
Yeah. But I think the philosophy of I think it's same for any addict anywhere.
Yeah.
Get me to the next high.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing.
Oh, 1,000. Do you think it's all rooted in depression or anxiety? Or is it rooted? What do you think addiction's rooted in?
I think it's got many levels.
Yeah.
You know, it could be, like you said, it could be mental, depression on that level. Also, it could be your environment.
Yeah.
You can also be enticed.
Of course.
You know, you got that ladder. You got marijuana, then it goes to this, that, and the other, if you want to believe that story.
Yeah, but let me ask you an honest question, Bones. So let's say you smoke weed every day, right? I smoke pot. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't really drink. You know, I'm not a non-drinker, but I rarely drink. Every now and then I'll smoke a little pot, whatever, just to take the edge off. It's legal. I'm not complaining. But never once did I always think when I get high, I'm like, wow, this feels good. I'm chill. What makes you say I need to not have any care in the world, lose 75 pounds, have to rob people? Like, what makes you say that? Does heroin make you feel that good that you're willing to live that awful?
I don't think it's making you feel that. I think what it does, it puts you get beyond that state to where the addiction is now controlling your life.
So you just need to be high at
that point, your body's telling you. It's like a 2-part addiction, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
Not only is it a mental, but it's a physical.
Yeah.
Like your body will tell you you're sick.
What recovered first, your body or your mind?
Had to be my mind first.
Your mind
I had to get my mind straight in order to conquer the physical.
What I mean by that, though, let me ask it differently. Which one was easier to get back in shape? Did you do more work mentally than physically, or did you really have to work hard to get your body back, to get healthy physically? Which one took the stronger?
Yeah, the body.
Yeah.
That took a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell you, I broke myself down, man. Like, once I got clean, you know, I forced myself every day to get into the gym.
Wow.
You know, to put back that weight, you know. And
once what were you at your sickest? What do you think you weighed?
132.
What do you normally? What were you? 175, 180?
I'd say about 160. I'm like right now I'm 178.
Okay, so 160s you're walking around, right? You're 40 pounds lighter than that at your sickest, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jesus.
And I'll tell you, it looked bad, man. It looked rough.
Yeah, it never looks good, does it?
Not a good look.
I've never seen a heroin addict that thought, God damn, that's a look.
Now, I'll tell you,
I gotta get them jeans.
When I was at my height, you know, and getting high, so I ended up in Philadelphia one time, there by Kensington.
Holy shit.
Dude, like, now...
That's as real as it gets, dude. You know what that is,
the
Kensington?
land of zombies, man.
I don't think so.
What's it, 3 blocks?
No, it's like 6.
Is it that big?
It's
and
that long.
And it's nothing but junkies.
Wow.
And homeless. And
This is where?
Philadelphia.
Philly.
And it's-
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kensington.
Kensington. It's famous. I mean, dude, there's murders. The cops don't even care.
They're not around.
They're not, dude. It's Amsterdam. Remember The Wire when they were going to do
Yes.
Amsterdam?
That's
Take care
true.
of yourselves.
You know what's crazy? I've never seen The Wire, but that's a whole other story we'll get
Yeah.
into one day.
So, yeah, Matt, that's all. Yeah.
You might have to move out of Maryland. I don't even know if that's allowed.
Everybody's seen The Wire. Yeah.
Bones, do you think you're a fascinating guy, man? You're a really interesting person to talk to. Have you thought about doing like public speaking stuff, like motivational speeches, stuff like that? I think you'd be great at it, man.
Well, I tell you, I get that all the time. Man.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the end game, it could be a good calling.
Yeah.
You know.
I find I've met a lot of addicts over the years. I've done a lot of shows for conventions, and I've never been an addict, but they hire me to come do their conventions and all
Well, you'd be
comedy.
perfect for it,
I've
Nick.
done a
You
million
really-
of them, and I love doing them for them. But I've met so many people, and every time I talk to somebody, I feel weird saying this, but it's the truth. You motherfuckers are just wise. I don't know if it took you. I guess you had to beat yourself up and break yourself down so bad that by treating yourself like absolute shit, it taught you to learn so much. Is there a truth in that?
No, that's a lot of truth, man. It seems like it takes a lifetime.
Yeah.
That's how it feels,
Yeah, man.
you know. And day one is like day one.
It's amazing.
And man.
I use the idea of recovery for my own self. I did that mental health. I did it one day at a time. I knew enough about the program.
Right.
Be accountable one day at a time. The Serenity Prayer, like all these things, a greater cause, something greater than you. Live for something greater than you. Like it's an amazing philosophy. The
It
NA,
is.
the
It
AA
is, right.
convention, the recovery steps. I hear about the 12-step program, and I told the guy, I told my psychologist one time, he goes, you ever thought about a 12-step program? I said, I need an 11. He goes, why? I go, 'cause I already know I got a fucking problem. Like, I don't need the first step. Admit you got a problem. I know I need an 11-step program.
Right.
But no, it was fascinating to really understand when someone really does truly recover from addiction and they got real time and they lived their life clean. There's some wise people that at one time were living under a fucking station wagon behind a Royal Farm store, and this son of a bitch is the wisest person I've
You
ever
learn a
talked
lot
to.
about yourself.
It's
No,
for sure.
unbelievable.
You do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know,
and
the
life.
I've always said, Matt, that the best advice comes from those who have already been
Of
damned.
course.
Sure.
Of course.
And listen,
Yeah.
and just listen and take heed to what they've got to say, man.
I
telling
went
you.
for a friend one time. They celebrated 3 years clean or something. I went to, their
Right,
celebration with them. And they got their chip and everything, and it was wonderful. And this woman got up to share. That's where they get up and they speak in front of everybody as a black woman, and she was amazing. She had like 20-some years clean, and she told her quick story of how awful she was and working the block and all that stuff. And then she gets to a point and she starts getting worked up, and she said, and I'm looking around the room, and I'm going to tell you right now, if it sounds like I'm preaching, then goddamn it, you need a sermon. Listen up, right? And I just thought, this woman, I could have listened to her talk. Everything she said, I was like, yes. Yeah, and it wasn't even about addiction.
It
It
hits
was
home.
about handling your shit.
Right.
Sure.
It was wild, man. You're filming this series now. Let's say they call you back, you do another season, all of a sudden your character clicks, bang, and they write you in, and you're in every episode. Are you ready for that shit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You think you can handle
Oh,
it?
yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Good for you, bro.
Pumped.
I hope you
Pumped.
get it.
Yeah.
I do, man. I
Yeah,
got to
I'm
tell you, Bones, I'm really glad I got to meet you. I enjoyed talking to you.
Nah, Mick, it's my pleasure. I mean, you guys, like I said, you guys are legends.
Legends.
Dude, I'm telling you,
Are
man.
you sure you got 9 years
Yeah,
clean?
you're
if
street
calling us
legends, man.
legends? We might be street legends.
you're street
I'll
legends.
take a
That's-
street legend. I'll be a street legend, Matt. Hey, Matt, on Hartford and Bel Air Road, we're kicking ass.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, Bones, let's get to it, man. Hang out with us. We're going to have some fun. Right now, it's ready for That's the Facts, Matt. Brought
Yes,
to us
sir.
by Barnes Paving. Please, Barnes Paving can meet all your paving and asphalt needs. They deliver exceptional service at low prices. Barnes Paving is MHIC licensed and insured, accredited with the Better Business Bureau. Check them out now at barnespaving.com. That's BARNES paving.com. Or give them a call at 443-243-3710. Barnes Paving is amazing, and make sure when you call you mention Mickey Talks to get 10% with Barnes Paving. Thanks, and let's do it, Matt.
All right, I want to see where you guys stand on an issue that's kind of been driving me bonkers for many years now. So
Gay marriage.
Today,
Gay marriage. Trying to figure out if you're going to do it or not.
No. We're talking about the Senate holding the hearing on eliminating daylight savings time. So the U.S. Senate Commerce Committee convened its first hearing in over 3 years to deliberate on ending the biannual clock changes associated with daylight saving time. Lawmakers from both parties expressed a shared desire to lock the clock, but there's still disagreement on whether to make daylight saving time permanent or do away with it. So, are you?
Here's how I feel. I don't
stop
know
the madness or team.
I'm for whatever team the day stays longer.
Yeah, amen. Yeah.
Well,
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Just whatever one that is, the way we rotate, and the sun comes up. I don't give a shit if it comes up at 8:30 in the morning. Just let it stay late till about 9 o'clock.
Well, that's the question right now. So, committee chair Senator Ted Cruz acknowledged the complexity of the issue, stating there is widespread agreement on locking the clock, but where do we lock it? He highlighted the trade-offs between health benefits linked to standard time and the economic advantages of extended evening daylight under daylight saving time. And then the health experts weighed in as well about all the health benefits.
I'm sorry. So the daylight savings time, daylight savings is
Who came up with that?
It's been around a long time.
You know what the story? Everybody thinks it's the farmers, but what it really happened? It happened during the war.
Yeah, I heard that.
And the reason they did it was to save energy, so that you would have more daylight. You wouldn't have to waste electricity.
Right.
And then it just kind of hung around and stuck. And we're doing it like
I just want them to
crazy
leave it.
patience.
I want them. Well, you know how like in the summer it gets dark at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Whatever that daytime shit is, that's what I want year round.
See, I'm with you on that. I think it should stay light later in the day.
I don't need it light at 6 in the morning. I don't.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I like actually. You know, you wake up at 7 sometimes. You just see the sun coming up like in the dead of winter.
Sometimes it wakes me up when I don't want to wake up. You know, I get that daylight coming in. I gotta live like a vampire sometimes.
Right.
You gotta put the trash bags over the windows like I did in my 20s.
You know what I didn't like? Here's what I don't like. Right. So you're basically, you're a working man, not you and I. We got bullshit hours. We can do whatever we want. I'm saying the average working guy and lady, they wake up, 6:30 in the morning, right? They take a shower, they get dressed, they go to their job, they're inside all day. And in October, they get off work at 5. It's already dark. They didn't even get to live in daylight. Right. They got 40 minutes in the morning when they drove to work, and then we all wonder why we're depressed in the winter.
Exactly. That's where the mental health effects come in.
And people wonder what mental health the problems are.
Yeah.
Listen to this. If you get off work at 5 o'clock and you can't go in your backyard and play catch with your son because it's dark, that's just asinine.
Right.
It doesn't even make sense. And these people go, I'm a morning person. Well, get up and turn a light on, bitch. I want the daylight. Like, what is wrong with you?
Exactly.
I'm all for it. The longer days, 1 clock, and it'll adjust around the year, right? It won't always stay light at 9.
It'll adjust naturally throughout the year.
I don't need that 3-hour swing from 8:30 to 4:45. That's ridiculous.
Right.
What is there, a potato famine? We need to get up early and collect the spuds?
Oh, shit.
Well, I don't know if you guys know, but Mark Hoppus from the band Blink-182, he just released his book not too long ago, and he claims in the book that he may have been responsible for the capture of Saddam Hussein.
What?
Say that again? I thought the Army guys caught him in that hole.
Yeah, well, Mark Hoppus from Blink-182, he says that in his new book called Fahrenheit 182, the band was on an aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf because they were going to play some shows in the region, and he told a Navy admiral that he had a plan to catch Saddam Hussein. It had to do with the fact that Saddam was sending video messages, if you remember that, to his followers from an unknown location. He told the admiral, quote, "What about having drones fly all over the region in carpeting patterns, broadcasting time codes above the level of human hearing, but at the level that a video recording would catch it? And then the next time he releases one of his videos, you can listen to it, pull the ultrasonic data, and triangulate the drones you have flying all over."
That's some Jason Bourne shit.
Let me tell you, that's the singer in Blink-182. Right?
Yeah.
And he's the guy, too, that really uncovered a lot of those UFO phenomena,
You know what?
right?
I found Saddam Hussein.
All the bad guys.
On with all the bad guys.
What's his name again?
Mark
What's
Hoppus.
his name again?
Right? I know where Saddam Hussein is hiding.
Well, Matt's got that down.
He's
perfect.
got it perfect.
man.
I knew you were a pop punk fan, Matt.
Oh, shit.
You know, I love Blink. I love Green Day. I love Rancid. I love all those pop punk, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love that style of music.
I love it all, man.
I do too.
I
buddy.
usually find
Same
something
here, same here,
in any style of music.
Any
that
style
I
of
like.
music, right?
Yeah.
You a big music guy, Bones?
Oh, yeah, love it,
If
love
you
it.
had to pick, you know, if they were locking jail down, you guys could hear one album, what would it be?
Empire, Queen's Right.
No kidding. That's where
Yes.
you're at. Wow. That's a cool call.
Yeah.
That's a
No
great
doubt,
album,
man.
too.
Oh, yeah,
For
it is.
sure.
The whole,
Yeah.
every song on there was.
That's a phenomenal
And
album.
he's a phenomenal singer, man.
Jeff Tate?
Jeff Tate.
Oh,
man,
my God.
Yeah, one of the best, for sure.
So here's a great story at Hammerjacks. They're there. They're warming up backstage. And you know the song Somebody to Love by
Yes.
Queen?
Yeah.
That's playing. He's singing it. Full octave, you know, full power backstage, kind of warming up with the song. And then you know that part where Freddie goes, hits that note? He hits that note and then took it higher. And I
Wow.
was like, and it was 7 feet in front of me. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, if you're going to attempt a Queen song, especially something like that, man,
This
you
was
better
just
be able
him
to sing.
warming up.
Yeah,
He's
wow.
an incredible singer.
Oh,
man.
unbelievable.
Operatic, man.
Yeah,
I mean, the voice
incredible.
is just powerful.
Oh, just amazing.
Well, there is a female assistant principal in Florida who was arrested after she had a 13-year-old male student rub her feet.
Rub her
what?
feet.
Yeah, she's in Polk County Middle School. She's been arrested after she allegedly behaved inappropriately with a 13-year-old male student. Dr. Kiva Lark, 53, has been charged with lewd lascivious conduct and lewd offense against a student by an authority figure. The principal at Lake Marion Creek Middle School reported the incident on April 4th. She apparently took the kid to her office, and while in there, according to 2 witnesses and the victim, Lark told the victim to rub her feet since he didn't have anything better to do with his hands. She removed her shoes and placed her legs across the victim's lap, and he did as he was told. Lark was heard scolding the boy for not rubbing her feet correctly, and demonstrated how she would prefer to be massaged by rubbing the child's arm and shoulder to demonstrate.
So where do you go with that?
You go to a motel. I tell you what, I have a 13 to me is an age that I think that is wrong for even a boy. You know what I mean?
Of
And I
course.
do think the boy-girl thing is different. I don't care what anyone says.
No, I agree.
I think that a grown man, grooming a young woman is different than an older woman grooming a young boy.
You do?
I'll tell you why. I think that kind of thing, I don't think either one is right. I don't think there's as much fear and sheer, what's the word I'm looking for? I think boys can, it's 13 I want to take out of the equation. I'm talking about 15, 16, 17-year-old boys that we've heard these stories with these teachers.
Yeah, right.
Is there really a victim? I hate that you're a 17-year-old boy and your teacher.
Well, you have sons, man. How would you feel if the school called you up one
17-year-old
day?
depends what the teacher looks
Say
like.
he was 13.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I mean, of course. Listen, I'm just saying. We all know that there is a difference.
There's a leniency, I believe. Right?
Yeah, like it's weird, man. Like it's an awful thing to hear. But also rubbing feet, like. I think that kid should just get some mental health help. Who wants to rub an old lady's feet?
Yeah, that's just gross, right?
I don't even think that's sexual. I've never touched a woman's foot and thought, yeah, I got to get some of this ever.
She would,
it's a foot. For
she would
God's
also
sake.
regularly refer to him as sexy chocolate while she passed him in the
What?
school hallway.
Okay, that part didn't get at it, man.
yeah.
All right, screw that bitch. That's a horrible woman. Would she call him sexy chocolate?
Sexy chocolate, yeah.
You know the weird part?
What's
the
that?
kid's
They
white.
used to call you
No, I'm
sexy
kidding.
chocolate.
Yeah. That was vanilla swirl.
Vanilla swirl.
Yeah, I was totally different. Sexy chocolate. Jesus. Hey, here's the thing. If you're a school teacher in 2025, how do you get that job and then think it's okay to say, hey, sexy chocolate, I know you're 13, right? Bring your fine black-looking ass over here and rub my feet. Like, how do you do that as a grown adult
How
and
are
not
you
expect?
53 and yeah.
Yeah, how do you not expect to get arrested in the room? Like, that lady's an idiot, I think.
Yeah, pass.
So Bones, when you're long gone now, do you think you're going to have an AI version of yourself continuing your career?
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not, man.
Now his AI version will get hooked again. He's got to spend another 4 years in
another
jail.
4 years. It's going to repeat itself, man. You know, and that's funny because when we SAG, when we struck, that's exactly what we struck over.
It was the
Well,
AI.
yeah.
Right. You're talking about the SAG union,
Yes,
Screen
yeah.
Actors
Yeah, there's a
Guild.
lot of issues with that right now,
And
in all kinds of industries.
I tell you, I was doing a couple auditions right at that time, and then they were like, "Hey, shut it down."
Yeah.
You know, and then I didn't know until I started getting all my notifications, from SAG.
Well, Euphoria got shut down during this. That's
It
why
did.
season 2 was a
Right.
while ago.
Yeah.
What's it been, 3 years?
3 years exactly.
Yeah, and then it's coming back because of the strike. A lot of those shows that happened
That's
to.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yep.
Well, Suzanne Summers' family is embracing AI. Are you ready for Chrissy Forever? Because
I
they're
love
making an
Suzanne
AI
Summers.
Suzanne Summers to continue her career. Advancements in AI and changes in California law are transforming the way deceased celebrities' legacies are managed and monetized. Two companies named Realbotics and Hollow have joined forces to create an AI version of the late actress Suzanne Summers that mimics her voice, personality, and facial expressions. And this is designed not just as a tribute, but as a potential participant in future products, such as new episodes of Three's Company.
That's crazy.
Dude,
Yeah.
first of all, Three's Company holds a gigantic place in my heart,
One of
brother.
my all-time
Yeah,
favorites, for
yeah.
sure.
It was a good. It was a
John
good show.
Ritter, who played Jack Tripper on that show, to me, is one of the greatest physical comedians that ever lived. The way he would trip all over the set. I love that guy. And I think the original two girls, Chrissy and what was the other?
Janet.
Janet.
Yeah.
That trio, along with Mr. and Mrs. Furley, is one of the greatest TV ensembles I've ever seen in my life for a comedy.
Yeah,
I love that
that's true.
show.
Me too.
It was
Yeah.
great.
And
It was
then
great.
who was Don Knotts? What was his name?
Mr. Furley.
I
Mr.
was thinking
Furley.
of Ropers.
Yeah, yeah.
The Ropers were first.
Right.
That guy was great.
For
Remember
sure.
Jack Roper, whatever his
yeah,
name was?
yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. That was a great show.
Yeah, so California's AB 1836 law went into effect on January 1st, and it extends post-mortem rights to include AI-generated digital replicas of dead people. Alan Hamill, who is Summers' widower and partner in buying Thigh Master back in the day, says that he and Suzanne talked before she died about the possibility of reactivating her. With advances in robotics, she may soon come and knock on your door.
I'll tell you right now.
Wow.
If Suzanne Summers shows up at my door, she could get some. AI or not. Suzanne Summers AI getting some. As long as it looks like Suzanne Summers 1979. It can't look like Suzanne Summers
she melts down on you,
2018.
then it's a problem.
Yeah, my luck, she'll buffer the whole time.
Well, Google is prepping the Wizard of Oz for the Las Vegas Sphere right now. They've stepped up to bring the first feature film into the Sphere in Las Vegas. With the help of generative AI, Google is working on taking the original 1939 classic, The Wizard of Oz, and making it pop on the massive screen at the Sphere. As a point of reference on how momentous this task will be, the original film was shot in Technicolor and premiered with a 1:37:1 screen ratio and appeared on movie screens that were 65 feet by 30 feet. The screen at the Sphere is 160 times larger and uses 64,000 LED tiles and 16K by 16K LED resolution.
It's almost as
That's
much as we
intense.
put into this show.
Very close to our production, but
I'll
not quite.
I'll tell you what, the power strip that runs that
Yeah.
has more technological advances than this studio.
Exactly.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Have you been to the Sphere yet?
No.
Have you
I would
been?
love to, though.
No, I don't.
So I've not.
You?
No, but I've seen tons of footage of it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'd like it because I don't like heights. I get overwhelmed like in
See,
tunnels.
I'm the same way. Yes.
So I don't. I think that experience. I might not.
too
I might get
intense for
dizzy.
you?
I can't sit in the upper deck of a stadium.
Yeah.
Like I got weird shit like
starts
that.
to freak you out a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
really.
Yeah.
You like that too,
I'm
Bones?
the same way. Yeah.
I don't like it, man.
Not
Yeah, this
big on
this,
it.
this
Yeah.
venue has 17,000 seats, 16K resolution, wraparound interior LED screens, speakers with beamforming and wave field synthesis technologies, and they have 4D features, which includes like scent and wind. So you feel
shit.
all your senses are engaged in this thing.
You know where we're all headed, right? We're all going to have a booth at our house that we walk into naked one day, and we're going to be alone, but yet we can do anything we want with anyone we want in the world. That's where we're heading. I mean, this AI stuff, There's going to be about 9 people left going
It's
outside
scary.
in a while.
It's
Like,
scary.
You think we're going to be plugged in like
Oh,
the
my
Matrix?
God.
Have you seen that movie Electric State?
no.
That's
About
we're
same
talking
thing?
about. Yeah.
I got what's it
Same
called?
thing.
Electric State.
Electric State.
I got to see that because I do believe. I mean, I think it's 3 or 4 generations from now, maybe 40, 50 years. I doubt if I'll be here. I'll be amazed if I am. But
We won't know how to work the VCR then, you know?
yeah. But I think that there's going to be a lot of people that live just by themselves, don't even want to deal with people, but have the full, basically pseudo life in their home, whether it's a robot person that they're intimate with. I think we're really heading for a massive change in our social structure.
Well,
And
you watch a lot of movies,
Yeah.
and it tells you what's coming.
happening.
They're actually telling you.
Yeah.
You know? And I had a director tell me that every movie that's ever been filmed, there is a truth to
Art
Some-
imitating life.
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
name it, something in there's
And then it usually leads to life imitating that
Well,
art.
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
Right,
weird
right,
thing,
right.
man. It all comes back full circle.
Well, like driverless taxi cabs. If
Yeah.
you've been to San Francisco, L.A., Phoenix, or Austin lately, you might have seen Waymo driverless taxis tooling around town.
Can
Most
you do
people,
it? Can you do it?
I don't think I would want to do it at this
I don't
point.
think
would you?
I would. Bones, would you get in a car that just drove itself?
No.
How about Julie? Would you do it, honey? Would you get in a? No, you wouldn't do it. Bones girl Julie's here, but I don't think I could do that.
No,
I mean,
especially
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
No, ain't no way.
especially after a story like this. On Monday night in Santa Monica, a Waymo vehicle stalled out in the middle of the drive-through entrance of a Chick-fil-A restaurant. Chicken-starved customers waited for the autonomous vehicle to move along, but eventually were told the restaurant was closed after more than 30 minutes of watching the car try to figure out how to get unstuck. It's
my
not
God.
clear
Damn,
why the
that's a
car was at
problem.
Chick-fil-A. They're not even sure there was a passenger in this car.
Oh, if
no
there was,
driver,
you know
of
what
course.
happened after like 7 minutes? He just got, fuck this, he's gone.
right,
That's
right.
what I would have done.
Shut it down.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, not even clear, since no driver means there was no one to get hungry on the job. And it's not known at this time if there was a passenger inside the car that directed the Waymo to the restaurant.
However, they did all stop and pray for the car at Chick-fil-A, which is what they do. They're wonderful people. Is that not the greatest food place in the world?
Oh, love it. And the greatest service of all.
That's what
fast food
That's what I
joints, right?
actually mean.
Yeah.
Like every time you walk in there, they're happy. You go into McDonald's, right? You been to McDonald's
What's,
lately?
what's their little saying when they my pleasure?
My pleasure.
My pleasure.
It's like,
Yeah.
thank you, my pleasure.
Right.
You go into McDonald's, you go, thank you. They go, mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah. Get your shit, get out.
Anybody got number 38? Your Big Mac sauce is on the side. Thanks for coming. I'm closing in 8 minutes. My daughter Becky's got her christening tomorrow morning. No fries after 8.
Hey, look, I'm convinced we should open up a chicken restaurant on Sundays just to
Dude, do you know he leaves
all that business they're leaving on the table.
It's $1 billion a year just on Sundays that Chick-fil-A leaves in the name of our Lord.
You're exactly right. You're exactly
And that's
right.
why he did it.
Matt and
That's
Mickey's Chicken,
insane,
man. Matt
man.
and Mickey's Chicken
Matt,
stand.
and we'll open them up in Chick-fil-A.
Only open on Sunday.
We'll rent Chick-fil-A's on Sunday.
Right, rent some of
we'll
those kids.
sell it, and then he don't have to feel guilty.
Hire some of those kids away.
Yeah, we'll hand out mass cards with
like
every
that.
to-go bag.
I like that.
Be religious and everything all at once.
So, everybody complains about the high cost of concert tickets now.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder what the bands actually make?
Well, so I know a little inside story about something.
Yeah.
To answer your question, no, I don't. I know this. Most of the acts are demanding around 80% of the gross.
What's the only way they make money anymore is the tour.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't
called a
make money off the
360.
albums.
So the new record deals
Yeah.
are called 360s. The way they used to do it was the label would give you, say, $10,000 to make an album. You'd spend $5. You owed the label $10. You could put $5 in your pocket with the band guys split.
Yeah.
You'd sell the album. They'd get their 10 grand back, and then after they get that, they would give you points on the album.
What was it, like 10 points?
Yeah, and that's basically like 10%.
Right.
So they got all their money back, then made 90% off of your music. But you used to be able to go out and tour and make gazillions of dollars. That's where the money is. Well, when the labels started to not be selling records anymore because of the internet, they invented 360. So the label would say, all right, we'll still give you the $500,000, but we're going to let you pay us back with your touring, with your merchandise, with your this, with your that. The label was involved in every aspect of the band now. So I would never sign a major record label deal in my life now.
Yeah, they're
it's
kind of
no,
shady, you know.
no point in it.
I mean, artists have gotten a lot smarter, and they keep their publishing now,
Yeah.
which is a very good thing. But unfortunately, Lars Ulrich tried to tell us back in the 90s.
And we all thought it was.
Yeah, everybody got mad at him.
Yeah.
He said Metallica's greedy, but
Yeah.
he was just trying to help.
And all these musicians now, they all wish they'd have listened to Lars.
Yeah, of course.
What was it that? What was
Napster.
It that?
Napster.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember
Yep.
that.
Yeah, so CBS News broke it down with the band called Something Corporate. For a recent show, the band had set the ticket price at $56, which became $70 thanks to the various fees that get tacked on. And at that price, the show had the potential to generate $200,000. But right off the top, they had to pay nearly $104,000 in costs related to the venue, like stagehands. That
Yep.
leaves just under $100,000.
Yep.
But the band still doesn't get their cut. There are commissions, fees, payroll, like the band's management taking a quarter, the band's crew taking another quarter. When it's all said and done, Something Corporate only made a profit of about $10 per ticket for a ticket that costs the concert goer $70.
So they make 20 grand out of 200. So
Yeah.
80% of that money is bullshit.
Yeah, well, it goes towards expenses, business expenses.
So
you know?
what comedians do now, this is brilliant. Comedians come in and they go, how much does the venue cost? And they'll say, we'll rent you the venue for $100,000. All right. I don't need any crew. I don't have any instruments.
Yeah, that's the beauty about comedy, right?
I'll give you $100 grand for your facility. You pay who you got to, and then they come in, they charge whatever. It grosses $500. They give $100,000 to the facility. They give their manager $50 grand or whatever his take is, and then they walk with $450 or $350, whatever that comes out to. Comedians make a shit ton of money compared to musicians.
Well, you just need a microphone. You don't need a backline of instruments and an entire crew and lighting
and
people.
monitors and
Yeah.
all that horse shit.
Dude, that is intelligent.
It's the way
That's
to
the
do
way
it.
to do it, yeah.
And bands can do it too if you have ball. And listen, most of my
go ahead.
most of my comedy shows, I prefer to just say to venues, I'll take the door. You take all the food and drink. If I make $40 or $4,000, that's on me.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's why you stay in good standing with them too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. You know, or I could go in there and say, hey, it's $2,500 for me for a night.
Now, like
right?
the big bands like Pearl Jam, they'll bypass Ticketmaster and they'll sell their own tickets. And they don't have to tack on all those nutty fees for their fans.
There you go, right,
and they still make money.
So Louis C.K., when he shot his last special, he released it on his website for like $7, and it sold 3.5 million copies on his website.
Yeah.
Nobody else got any money. He had to pay to have it filmed and mastered.
Damn.
And then you sent him $7, and he sent you the special. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
All digital, I take it.
All
right?
digital. Yeah. Nobody who wants a DVD
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that badly, but like when you can just push a button and your computer goes bang.
Yeah, I don't even
and
know
it's
if
on.
my DVD player still even works.
Nah.
You know? Just collecting dust under the TV at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use it as a drink holder.
So speaking of really expensive concert tickets, going to Coachella ravages not only your bank account but also your body.
Yeah.
They say Coachella started today, and don't be sad because you're stuck here watching the live stream on YouTube. Being there in person can ravage your body, they say, and your bank account. There was a survey of 2,000 festival goers. They found big events like Coachella are physically taxing, 78% of them feeling dehydrated and exhausted. This weekend could be even worse because it's expected to be super hot, like 103 degrees this weekend. 62% said they also don't eat great at festivals and just rely on whatever they can grab fast. 49% end up regretting their food or drink choices. And 58% think festival food is overpriced as well.
It's just nuts. Like, when you really think about the idea of a festival, most people think, oh, it's going to be so great. You know, we're going to go and hang out for 2 days. And you don't realize, like, you're basically showing up somewhere with nothing.
Yeah, in the
zero.
hot sun is what takes it out of you, too.
Kills
in
you.
the summer,
Exactly, right,
you know?
right.
Brutal.
So if I go to a festival now, I don't know about you, but I got to show up midday, right? I don't see any of the opening bands. I don't catch any of them. I don't.
Right.
You know, I just write that off completely. You get in
Yeah.
there right before the headliners. And then you got to duck out before the traffic too. So I see like just a little portion of the concert when I go in for a festival.
Right. Now, who do you think, if you had to guess, Matt, if you could put the ultimate festival together right now to draw the most people, would it be a rap festival, a rock festival, metal festival?
Probably country or pop, don't you think? That would be probably the biggest drawing at this point right now.
I think country probably. You're right.
Yeah.
That would probably be the thing. Yeah. I think.
I mean, you could put together a big rock festival that would kill, but if you wanted, new artists.
Yeah.
Hot new artists, it would be country and pop.
Country's the way to go.
Yeah, I can't stand it either.
I'm not a fan either. I
like
there
it.
are country songs I like.
Me too, but just as a genre.
Yeah.
I was in Nashville. I thought it was the coolest shit I've ever seen for 2 days. But then when I got on the plane, I was like, anybody got any Zeppelin? Like, I just heard enough Travis for a month. You know?
I guess it's still very country, even though everybody, all the rock labels are down there now.
Yeah.
Everybody, all the artists.
Yeah, Nashville's a cool place, man. Like, I've really dug it, man. It reminded me of, like, L.A. in, like, 88. It was like you saw kind of everything. Most of the music was hard rock, but you would see other stuff, you know. But I like Nashville. I think it's a cool town.
If you're not country, if you go to Nashville, man, you're going to be country the whole time you're there.
Dude, it's,
I mean, the transformation's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. And you kind of feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah, you do.
It's very, very
Did
warming.
you go to Coyote Ugly?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that was crazy.
That was a blast.
I had a lot of fun there.
So I took my daughter for her 21st birthday.
Okay.
Right? It was my daughter, my niece, my brother, my sister, their girlfriends and boyfriends, and myself, and we went down, and we went into Coyote Ugly, and then my daughter got on the bar, and I turned my back for 10 minutes and just waited till it was over.
Oh, but that was painful.
I wanted her to have fun. I didn't
Yeah.
And I watched a little. They just had fun
Oh, it was a
dancing.
blast. It was a blast
There
there.
was some.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you know who cheered the girls on the bar more than anybody?
The barmaids, wasn't it?
The bar and other women in the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all supportive, throwing money at. Like, it was a lot of fun to watch, you know. And most of the dudes were.
That
just,
makes a big difference.
Yeah, most of the
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
were kind of back.
Right.
Just like fun to watch a bunch of girls
It's
go crazy.
what is it, like a tradition type thing?
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
been
what
going
you
on
do.
for a long time.
Yeah.
So
It's cool, man.
Well, I don't know what kind of weird habits you might have in your life, but hopefully it's not the habits of this man right here. There's a man who has developed a lung infection because of his dirty sock smelling habit.
Ooh.
There are some hang-ups that can kill you if you're not careful. A man from China developed a fungal lung infection after regularly smelling his own dirty socks when he came home from work every day. He ended up hospitalized with a persistent cough and bloodshot eyes, and doctors diagnosed him with aspergillus, if I'm saying that right, infection in his lungs. Doctors got a pair of his dirty socks and tested them, which showed that his socks contained the fungus, likely due to the warm, moist environment inside shoes that promotes fungal growth. Doctors advised to not get in the habit of smelling dirty socks for fun, which is advice they probably never thought they'd have to give.
The real fungus among us.
What am I supposed to do on Fridays now, man? I guess I got to get rid of my sock smelling
That's
habit.
a weekend killer there.
Yeah,
man.
you ain't joking, Bones.
I don't know. I guess it depends, man. I mean, are you a guy that's like doesn't wash stuff until you think it needs it, or do you just wash it after every time you
I do
wear it?
laundry on Saturdays.
Yeah.
It's the way I go. I'm
So
not
you don't
opposed.
you don't need to smell your stuff to know it's time to wash
I'm
it.
twice a week.
You do laundry twice a week? I
yeah.
do it once a week, and I'm a pretty basic guy. Like, I will wear pants 3 days in a row. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Well, and hoodies too,
And hoodie-
right?
yeah,
Hoodies.
I think we've all done that.
I
man,
wear
right?
jeans 2 or 3 days. I don't give a shit
sure.
about that. I change my underwear, take it, but whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not going into an office building. I don't need to wear a suit.
True
Right.
that. True that.
You don't like my jeans, Matt? Kiss my ass. I'll change them on Thursday.
right.
Well, let's do a couple more here, buddy. What do we
All
got?
right.
Let's do one more.
All right, so we can either talk about donkeys gone wild in San Bernardino, we can talk about Betty White's secret to longevity, or we can talk about the study they did on people panicking about their phone's charge when it's at 38%.
Which one you
That's
like there,
tough.
Bones?
And
Let's go with Betty White.
We'll go with Betty White?
And she died, right?
Yeah, she gone.
Last year.
Yeah.
Was 100, wasn't she?
She was 99.
99.
Just
Like couple
missed.
days, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen her younger photographs?
dude.
She was a knockout.
Betty
She
White
was beautiful.
in the
man.
50s.
Yeah,
was
right.
banging, dude. Hell
Yes, she
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Made it to 99 and still look great for 99, right?
I put Betty White. I mean this.
Yeah.
as far as like entertainment, wonderful.
She was hilarious,
dude. She is one of, to me, she belongs on the Mount Rushmore of like female
You think?
entertainment. Name a better female entertainer.
I don't like
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
Joan
I was gonna say
Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
Here's
Joan
my
Rivers
Mount
was-
Rushmore
yeah.
of women.
Yeah.
Carol Burnett, Lucille Ball, Betty White, and Joan Rivers.
That's
That's my
Legends.
comedy. That's my comedy
Yeah,
Rushmore.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Lady Rushmore, whatever you want to call it. Those women are hugely responsible for my love of comedy.
Where are they fitting with the guys? If you had a Mount Rushmore,
I would put Lucy and Carol Burnett in an argument for television comedians with anyone. I would. I mean, are there some men that might come out on top? Maybe. But as Lucy and Carol Burnett, are you kidding me?
oh, they were yeah.
They were so brilliant. Lucille Ball.
Their improv was just
Second
impeccable.
to none, dude.
Yeah.
Impeccable.
Carol Burnett. People laugh. I mean, this woman's 80 years old now. You don't remember if you're a kid. Screw you, man. Carol Burnett was the best show on television for 6 years. That cast.
was that in your repertoire?
Well, I
when you
was a
were-
little kid,
Yeah,
man, and
yeah.
my grandparents and parents watched it every day or night, whenever it was on. And I mean, they roared.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it, Dorf, and all those characters that Harvey Korman and what was his name? The little. Oh my God.
I didn't watch. I watched Lucy though. Lucy was definitely.
Oh,
my-
Lucy.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. The chocolates.
Yeah.
When she's working the chocolate factory.
grapes, the grapes.
grapes.
Yeah.
Oh, my. And just brilliant. Brilliant woman. Love
Yeah,
them.
so Betty White lived to be 99, as we said, and she often credited her longevity to her positive attitude and junk food. Betty reportedly ate a hot dog every day, and she also loved her vodka.
You hear that, ladies?
But
Get
she,
on that hot dog every day, ladies. All
but
right?
she didn't stop there. She did not stop there. Megan
She
Fahey,
also ate a bag of nuts every day.
Megan Fahey from the White Lotus worked with Betty on a 2011 Hallmark movie called The Lost Valentine, and she says Betty would eat chocolate cake for breakfast.
Betty was a rock star, dude.
Yeah.
Look, if you get to be in your 90s, isn't your diet kind of like whatever I feel like it? Like whatever I feel like, that's what I
it
mean.
depends on what kind of shape you're in, right?
Who cares? You're
well,
90.
Well, I agree with that. You're right. But,
Yeah.
I mean, genetics plays, I think, a big part in
Sure it does. My
if you can eat
grandmother's-
hot dogs every day.
Dude, my grandmother's 97. She eats whatever she wants. She doesn't eat a
Yeah.
lot.
Right.
But, whatever's getting made that day,
Right.
my grandmother's eating it and loving it.
But to, like, attribute that to a long life, to tell people, like, eat chocolate cake for breakfast, drink vodka.
My right hand to
And
God,
just
my
have a
grandmother,
positive attitude.
My grandmother drinks Jack Daniels and water every day, one drink a day.
Does she?
About 5:30 p.m. she has her drink. She sips it for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Then she has dinner. Then she goes up, and here's the routine, bro. It is Family Feud, into Jeopardy, then into whatever sports my grandmother can find or some kind of show. My grandmother watches more sports at 97 than any man I know. And if Notre Dame's on and you enter the second floor of that house,
Yeah.
you're in big damn trouble.
You know,
That's all I'm telling
look
you.
at the Russians. You know,
Yeah,
they
oh.
shot of vodka
Every day.
Every day.
You know, the French and the Spaniards drink wine at
Wine,
an early age.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's all culture.
There's so many conflicting scientific reports on all that stuff, though.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Do whatever you want.
I think genetics has a lot to do with it.
It does. And
What you're able to do at an old age.
I've said this 1,000 times. Genetics and moderation, you can do anything in the world.
You think so? Anything in moderation?
I mean, like what?
Heroin?
No, of course not.
Right?
That's ridiculous. But I do think any foods for moderation, any beverages, any alcohol, and heroin. No, that's a drug that you hit
Right.
one time, and your
I'm
body.
saying that's a slippery slope when you start saying
I mean,
anything in moderation.
I would say minus most drugs, addictive drugs. I mean, if you want to eat a bowl of meat sauce spaghetti
Sniffing socks.
twice a week, yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah. Let me ask you something. You ever have a period in your life where like all your shoes stink and your feet stink and you can't figure it out? I'm going through a thing lately. Like my feet are killing me. I usually don't have like stinky feet.
Well, they say that your feet expand when you get older. Are they like filling up your shoes? Are they too
No,
tight on your
like
feet?
I got a regular. I'm a size 9. It's a standard man shoe. Like
Yeah,
I don't have
it's common.
fat
That's
feet.
common, yeah.
But I my feet sweat a lot all of a sudden.
It sounds like you're going through menopause, man.
I wish I was. I wish I could get rid of wanting to have sex. Oh my God! I wake up every day and I go, "Oh, just fall off." I'm sick of thinking about it. It's all I think about anymore.
Yeah.
I want to wake up one day and my penis is next to me on the pillow going, that was fun. How you feeling? That was great, buddy. You sleep in. I'm going to go to work. I don't even know what that means. Hey, listen, Melvin, Bonez, Estes. So, am I saying that right, Estes?
Yeah, you're saying it right.
A real pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, pleasure's mine.
I like interesting, wild people that have lived a life, man. And you have, my friend, and I appreciate seeing you on the other side of it. Glad I met you. I hope not. I don't know what's going to happen with Euphoria. I hope you're in season 3. I know you can't talk about it.
Yeah, fingers crossed, right?
When it does happen and you're allowed, please call me. I want to get you back on.
I'm gonna go home and binge it now, man.
What's that?
I'm gonna go home and binge
I'm gonna
it.
watch it too, no doubt. Yeah.
Well,
And,
make sure you skip episode 3.
yeah. Oh no, I'm starting there. I might watch that one on a loop, buddy.
Mickey's dirty. He's dirty.
Yeah. And then the only thing I'm going to ask of you, buddy, is I need you to get Zendaya on the show. Other than that, man, it's not.
I'll make some phone calls, man.
Hey, buddy, great to meet, have you on the show.
Nick, it's a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Matt, listen, next week, make an announcement. Friday, we got to figure something out because I'm in Harrisburg. Where am I? Hanover.
All
at
right.
Church of Satire Friday night.
All right.
We may go early Friday. We may do something else. We'll talk about that next week on the show as well. We have great guests coming in. I also have more sponsors to talk about. A lot of things are happening. Thank you all so much for continuing to watch, continuing to tune in. We are beside ourselves with how this is going. It's only going to get better. We are trying to reinvent something or invent something that's never been done. And you guys have been amazing. So thank you. Have a great weekend.
Get the
Tomorrow
YouTube
night,
channel.
YouTube, go to @MickeyTalksPod.
Share this on Facebook.
Please share this show as much as you can. Please go to YouTube, and subscribe. And we will see everybody back here Monday at 5. Thank you, everyone. Mickey Talks. See you next time.